Right, Nathan's bumper, day one. She literally just walked into the workshop with it. I'm going to do a little walk round of the damage on the bumper. I did get a little bit excited and went over it with some 80 grit just before I then remembered that I was going to do a video for Nathan, because I know he's going to want to see the progress of it being done, being the car nut that he is. Bit of trade-off for this. He's going to sort out my engine while I'm on holiday, which is nice of him, in return for me sorting out his bumper. So I'm just going to swap the screens over and go through some of the damage that we've got on the bumper before we start any work on it. So here's Nathan's bumper. As you can see, it's pretty scratched up. Apparently it's his dad's fault, but well, we'll blame Dad, won't we, Nathan? So here we have the offending item. Got a bump here, scratch there, and a little bit, just to put my fingers there. That bit's broke, that bit's broke. And you can see it's been knocked before. It is an 03 reg, so it's obviously done some time. Got a few little nicks here, stone chips along the edge. You can see I've gone over it in some 80 grit already, just taking the edge off of it a little bit. Stone chips are here, another little bit of damage there, more stone chips, scratches, 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 more scratches, more scratches, more scratches. It's obviously too low and it needs to raise the car, but you've got lots of stone chips along the bottom. I'm not sure how much of this is stone chips and what isn't, but stone chips all along the side, along there. There's no damage along this bit. Let's get the camera in focus. There's no damage along here, so that's fine. I have had it outside and it rained yesterday, so it is a bit wet, but that will dry off while it's in the workshop. And the grills will come out because he's spraying them jet black, and this is all going to be nice and clean and tidy once I've finished with it. Also, we've got a separation here between top and bottom sections, which we'll have to have a look at whether that can get fixed up or not. Probably will, but generally not too shabby. Day two, Nathan's bumper. I'm just currently going to do a little video of the strip down. I don't know how well this is going to go because I've never seen the bumper before. So I've got my screwdriver and let's see if we can get it to pieces. So the reason the bumper wasn't connecting on the left hand side, or actually the right hand side, is because this part here does no longer fix on. There's a screw connector, the screw on this side from here goes into there, but then when you get it in and lined up, and it looks really nice when it's lined up, this bit that the screws, this top bit is attached to, pulls out. So what we need to do is fix this. You can see where this little bit of plastic here has broken off, and that's why this bit comes out. So we need to clean this up and fix that in there. And we're going to do that with the plastic welder. Catch you in a bit. So I've welded that piece of plastic in. I've left it to cool down while I've had my lunch, and now it's time to see the results. I'm going to throttle that chicken. As you can see, the offending item has now been plastic welded with some ABS plastic along the top here, and I bring it round to here. It's firmly stuck in place, and that little bugger isn't going anywhere. So now it's time to tidy up this little rough edge a bit with some sandpaper and then put it back together again. Just going to give you a close-up on what we've been achieving on this last bit here. As you'll see, there's a nice even seam along that bit now. There's a bit of grey primer which I needed to locate why there were some lugs not going into the right holes, but now you can see that it's it all flush, and that matches this side evenly. Now we go on to the next bit. So the next step is to give the bumper a full rub down with rubbing alcohol, which will get all of the contaminants off of the paint and let us see what we're doing properly. I'll switch the screens and then show you that bit. Now we've wiped it all down with the rubbing alcohol, the next stage is to mask up the bits that we don't want to sand, because I'm going to be going over it with 80 grit. I've left this bit deliberately because I'm going to be working on that bit next, but I've gone around the edges and I've masked up the fog lights because I'm lazy, and I'd rather mask them up than take them out and lose them, so keep them safe there. So now we've got this section up here smooth, we can work on this section down here. Basically, on closer inspection, what needs to be done is that this bit needs to be glued in place there, and then that will push everything back into place along here. This needs to come out a little bit, which we can do, and then so first of all we need to get rid of all the old filler. We'll glue this bit in last because it's the most fragile and smallest bit, but we'll get rid of the filler, find out what we can do with the plastic bumper, because it's a plastic and not, it's plastic bumper, not fiberglass. So if we can get past the filler, then we'll be able to plastic weld the crack and then filler over the top so it's nice and smooth and no one will ever know the difference. That one up there is a little crack. It doesn't actually, it's probably not actually necessary to do it, but we're going to do it. We'll give it a go anyway, just to get it glued in place and so that it's nice and neat. And then we move on to stage 3, I think. So what you can see here is we've removed some. I've removed some more of the filler that was around this section, leaving the gap very visible. You can stick your screwdriver in there, and what we're going to do is, with the plastic welder, we're going to stick those two together. You get to watch this time. So I'm just going to warm up the plastic welder, and then this will be the last job for today because I've got some other bits to do. And it looked really successful until it cooled down, and then the plastic weld didn't actually fix at all. It just kind of sat on top of the other plastic of the bumper. So plan B is going to be fiberglass in it. So yeah, I've run out of time for today, but plastic welding didn't work on that bit. It worked on the other plastic. It must have been a different type, being inside the behind the bumper. There are other types of plastic, but as I don't know exactly what type of plastic it is, because this was ABS, and it didn't stick. So fiberglass is going to be the next best thing. It'll be fiberglass from the bottom, from behind, nice and sturdy, and fiberglass from the top, with either the fiberglass, fiberglass from the bottom behind, and then body filler once it's nice and secure from behind, and there's a nice solid backing to the crack that will keep it still, and then we can body filler the gap that's here once the fiberglass is dried. But that's unfortunately for another day, because I've run out of time. Signing out, and catch up for the next part. Bye bye.